Hello me. Hello beans. We're all beans, aren't we? Are you a has-been or a now-been? Do you live in the past? Do you live in the present? How are you? This is Being God, number 17. Let's change the date and we'll just make it right. There we go, I'll do, oh, I don't even know what date it is. I think it's, I don't know. It's, whatever date it is, I think it's about the 20th, 21st, whatever. So what was it, 17, and probably it's Tuesday, so let's go with, I don't know, let's go with 20, yeah, okay, good. What does it matter? It doesn't, does it? I've got no idea what I'm doing, so I come to you in innocence. I just wanted a quick one. I wanted to share this. I've spoken about this before. I don't know how big this is. So it's Florence, Scoval, Shinn, complete collection. Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, Book 4, Book 5. The Game of Life. The Word is Your Wand. The Word. The Secret Door to Success. The Power of the Spoken Word. And the Magic Path of Intuition. And there's also, it says there, look, read and reflect, there's spaces for notes. It's very nice. I'm just going through this, I haven't read it all, but I'm noting bits, and I must say, I love it. And I think when we consider where collectively we are, in the sense of association with self, and the constant error in reference to other self being mind body, as opposed to being the God we are. And in that essence, in that sense, in whatever I'm talking about at the moment, I see merit, huge merit, in something like this, because it re-establishes connection. Connection with divinity. It's important to it's important trust process. Okay, trust process. What is the process? Well, I've talked about the process and I've discussed the process. I've written about the process. I've shared over years with older DVDs all sorts of stuff, and the process is ever present. It doesn't change. What is the process? Well, the process is that we create. It's just a question of if our focus is reactionary, or if we embrace a decisive nature of self based on our perception of truth over who we are in this instance as a body mind, and we re-engage with the idea that, yeah, we're God, right? Okay, next. From that point, it's easy to continue day to day, understanding that thought, word and action determine reactions, effects, and if you were going to mess about with words, you could say future. So, if we, and this is where I come back to the notion of manifesting. There was the new thought movement. Florence would get calls from people in the sense of my life's shit at the moment, this is happening, this is going wrong, that's not happening, I want this, I don't want that, I'm worried about this, blah, 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 like all of us whinging bastards do. Look at this Trump, bless him, loads of love to Trump. God, does he need? I don't think I've perceived such a needy baby love. It's just an identity, a label. You know, it's like Spain wasn't very nice to me, so it's their moment. He can't grasp that fact. It's their moment. So Trump becomes the baby. I'm not going to do business with Spain anymore. Yeah, and this is the American president, the most powerful guy in the world, allegedly. Power, he can't even control himself. And this is the game. Yeah, the game is self-control, self-awareness. Don't go blah, blah, blah. In her book, I read today, which really caused me to chuckle, she was like, if you want to hear about, you know, what the world is like and what people are like, and how people embrace error and weaken themselves, yeah, go to a woman's hairdressers. And she gave this example. And what does it come down to? Gossip, opinions, judgments, projections. If you are engaging in any of that, hate, fear, anger, manipulation, it's all rubbish. And you need to move away from that, exercising self-control and courage. The courage to say to yourself, hold on a minute, I'm being an arse, or I'm being a baby, or I'm being silly, or I'm being unrealistic, or I'm being fearful and not allowing myself to become a channel to the divine intuition that will help me unfold into my path as an awakening, as a realization. So I can, I'm going to go and do this then. Yeah. There is a huge difference. I'm going to keep saying this because it's true. There is a huge difference in the notion of personal manifestation in the sense of I identify and I want, as opposed to all things would be nice, but I'm just going to allow it to happen because I want to follow my true path. And as soon as you engage with divine intuition that's constantly streaming to you, then you start to get divine insight. And divine insight is wonderful, full of wonder. Everything to do with big G is full of wonder. What is G? The back power, the front conception, the below echo. You know, you still get all these. I saw a tarot, and it was a guy exposing tarot. It's like, you know, they all do this, they all promise this, they all do that. Well, of course they do. That's because there's like 8 billion people saying, I want millions, I want super health, I want super love and happiness. Which is the perception that we all want. And we all are brought up in fear and guilt and rubbish and nonsense. And remember that the weakest are those here that see themselves at the top, because they have a perception of power in truth that's echoed with others in the sense of their role, but they can't pull their ego back so that they act with a good heart. Anyway, times are changing. That's it. I've got nothing else more to say really. Trust the process. And what you ask for is already on your path. I saw a video with a client, a switched on lady, and it was the idea again of the creative flow. And again, it was the rearrangement of perception in the sense of presence and you know, the idea of wanting something, blah blah blah, I'm doing. And I mean, it still comes down to the same thing to me. There isn't the purity of spirit unless you give yourself over completely to the notion of big G, divinity, and you're here as a witness. How can you be a witness to the wonders of divine creation when you are focusing on lack, need, mistrust, judgment, resentment, anger, frustration? All those things, just go, fuck it, and let them go, because it's nothing, okay? This happened. Why? Why do you think it happened? Anything that is in your awareness is attracted to you. Change your perception, change your awareness. Okay? This is it. There's so much nonsense. So everyone at the top, the 0.01%, they're like this. Yeah? And in the nicest way, just send them love so they can overcome. They're so afraid because this is what they've built to compensate. Tragic. Yeah, great. Enjoy yourselves. Get the book. I'll put the ISBN close so that you can see it. No one could get off because I've got to wash up and cook dinner. All right, I hope you can see that. Yeah. Florence, Scoval, Shinn, Complete Works, Deluxe Edition. Yeah, I'll just put it off of Amazon might do. Bye you lot. Oh, don't forget, I just want to make a correction. I've said before, just email me at truthlovehappiness.com. This is for anyone that can find the courage to actually dialogue with me. Yeah, I'm a straightforward person. I'm very receptive. I'm open. I'm honest. And I'll respond according to your word. So on truthlovehappiness.com, there is a section to send a message. The message will come through to me as an email if you put your contact details there. We can have a chat in whichever way suits. Okay? Stay safe.